Hello, my friends. This is Big Daddy Cass. I'm back to recite a short story to you. I call this My Lady. It's about my Labrador Retriever, who is one of the most intelligent dog breeds in America. She is also commonly just called the Lab, and is not only popular as a household pet and a lovable part of the family, but she's known as a seeing eye dog for disabled people. She's excellent at most outdoor activities. She's energetic, intelligent, good-tempered, obedient, and naturally affectionate. Yep, that's my lady. Well, now I'm going to show you just how smart my Lady Lab is. Believe it or not, she wrote you a story. Go ahead, lady, tell them your story. My name is Lady, and I'm a big black lab. Not really that big. I was the runt of the litter. I guess for a lab I'm small, but I think I'm pretty big. Cass brought me in from outside so that I could tell my story. He always tries to show off my smarts. That's one of the reasons that I love him so much. Well, for a dog, I never was treated like one. I have a very good memory. I can take you all the way back to when I first became part of Cass's life. My brothers and sisters were from the highest pedigree line of purebred animals. They were raised to be show dogs. Unfortunate for me, I was the runt, so I didn't belong. My breeders were going to have me put away, and I remember that day. I wanted to live. They had already called a veterinarian, and he was going to euthanize me, whatever that is. It sure didn't sound good. Anyway, my breeders were on their way out the door with me in a cage when they ran into a neighbor who told them about a guy who lived down the street who had just lost his companion, a dog named Brock. They decided to see if he would take me. You don't know how happy this made me. My heart was thumping and my tail was wagging as they knocked on Cass's front door. My world came to an end when Cass told me that he didn't want me, that the loss of Brock was so hard to take that he didn't want to get that close to another living thing. My breeders said, "Well, that's okay. We have an appointment to have her put away." Cass's reply was, "You can't do that. I'll find her a home." Oh my God, I'd found my home. I would make Cass love me so much that he'd never give me away, and that's when I became Cass's very best friend and his constant companion. My first real home was on Roosevelt Avenue in a small suburb called Sugar House. Boy, was I a lucky dog. Cass and I took to each other right off the get-go, and that's the truth. My new home was really nice and cozy. Cass gave me the run of the whole house, and it was lots of fun exploring the closets and underneath the beds. Sometimes I'd find the neatest things to chew on or take outside and bury. I remember once finding a real nice boot underneath the bed, and I assumed that Cass had left it there for me to play with. So I chewed on it the biggest part of the day. Wow, they say only dogs get mad and people get angry. Not true. Cass really totaled out. Gosh, I never heard so many new words. He ranted and raved for days. He said all his life he wanted Tony Llamas, so he finally got a pair, and now he only had the left one to wear. He was so angry that I thought he would never get glad. I knew I had done wrong, and I really was sad, but Cass finally got over it, and then he was glad. Cass said many times that no dog would ever measure up to his Brock. So my greatest desire was to prove him wrong. I wanted to be the best I could be so my master Cass would love me. I remember one time when I pooped underneath the living room table, and Cass scolded me and put me outside for the longest time. Then there was another time when I pooped in a shoe. This I have to tell you about. It's really funny. There was this salesman Cass knew that was really obnoxious. When he'd visit us, he would take off his shoes and put them alongside the couch, and they would stink up the whole house. Well, I had to go really bad, and there were these shoes that smelled just like shit. So I plopped a good one right in one of them. Wait a minute, I'm not through yet. I'm just getting to the best part. The guy got ready to leave and put on his shoes, and you should have seen the expression on his face as the poop oozed out around the top of his shoe. Cash laughed so hard that he rolled on the floor, and that guy never come back to our house anymore. When I was little, I was always doing things that would upset Cash. Not on purpose, I want you to know, and I think it was just the puppy in me. Another thing I want you to know is that when I did bad things, Cash never hit me. But boy, could he ever give a flinch pressing, and sometimes they'd last for days. It took me about a year before I grew out of my mischievous ways, and we both managed to survive. I grew to love my master Cash more and more with each passing day. I wanted him to be proud of me and love me in the same way. I tried real hard to learn how to do all the things that would please him. Jack, our mailman, trained me to take in the mail. He worked with me for weeks until I had it just right. Jack would hand me the mail, and I would deliver it right to Cash's favorite chair. Soon I started doing the same thing with the newspaper. My reward was a pat on the head and the simple phrase, "Good girl," and that made me so happy. Sometimes Cash would talk to me like I was human and I could understand all that he was saying. I learned to nod and shake my head when he was talking to me, and even though I couldn't understand every word, he thought I could. Usually by his actions or his expressions, I knew what he wanted. You know, it was pretty obvious that Cash liked us humans, liked us four-legged creatures better than he did you two-legged ones, because he always treated us so much better. I never saw him hit an animal, but I seen him beat up many a human. Cash had a real bad temper, but he never lost it on me or any of my kind. Well, that's my story. I want to thank you for listening. And Big Daddy Cash says I better tell you to have a good day.